Normally I preview these replays before casting them, because obviously I want to make sure it's a battle that I want to put on my channel, but this one Killerinu sent in, and he just said it was a really close game. I actually have not even watched it yet, so let's just go. I trust his opinion on that. It is two top-tier factions, what I would consider Wood Elves. I'm a little on the fence about. I think in the hands of a top-tier player especially, or a skilled tournament player even, like, they are one of the scariest factions in the game, certainly. Greenskins have for some time, and still are one of the best factions with very few truly bad matchups, if any. Arguably Vampire counts, perhaps, but even still, then, it's not too bad. Here, we've got Wood Elves, obviously, into Greenskins, Sisters of Twilight up on the Eagle, some Deepwood Scouts, Waystalker as well, Glade Riders spread around. Got some Dryads. More Glade Riders over here. Spellsinger, Lore of Life, Eternal Guards in the back. For the Greenskins, looks like a line of Orc Boys here. Second line of Orc Biggins with some Gobbo Meat Shields up front. Double River Troll Hag, very interesting. I'd have to look here. It looks like both have the Vomit. No. Just Mither. So double Mither, Aspect of Dread Knight here. This one's probably got Spirit Leech, yep. On the paunch out in the flanks there with some Wolf Rider, Spider Rider archers. So the Sisters of Twilight already going to be using some of their ammo going after the Troll Hags here, which makes sense. You got to work through their HP. Armor Sundering as well on the anti-large shot. Puts them down to 20 armor so the Deepwood Scouts can do significant damage, as will the Waystalker. Primary non-AP attack. Waystalker is one of the best heroes in the game, secretly. Arrows of Kronos was not brought here, but it is an exceptional ability, especially for going after artillery pieces. This is a matchup where you might see the odd Hammer of Gork Goblobber occasionally, as kind of a surprise pick, but all-out assault here. Looks like nice charge in the face. Those goblins are just going to get eaten up by the Glade Riders. This is on the Cavalry beta, so it's actually going to be a pretty safe engagement for the Glade Riders. The Orc Boys, on the other hand, a little bit more weapon strength, a little bit more mass, especially. Not going to be nearly as good of a trade there, but still, one River Troll Hag has been routed off via Waystalker and Sisters, just comboing here. The Spears, Glade Riders with Spears could detach and go possibly chase her off, but for the time being, Wood Elves just kind of pulling back. The Greenskins also not wanting to overcommit here and, you know, just YOLO straight in. But I do feel just continuing to pressure is the right call. There's pretty good presence of Deepwood Scouts here that still have quite a bit of ammunition left, and the Biggins in particular are going to be really good targets for them to shoot at. No missile block chance. 50 armor is decent, but, you know, they have a lot of weapon strength, 42 weapon strength, 39 attack, so with this one chevron at least. So definitely Wood Elves do not want to fight them in melee by any means. But let's see, Deepwood Scouts continuing to pull back, more countercharging goblins here as they try and overextend. This is definitely very smart, very patient Wood Elf play. A lot of newer players will get tempted to just countercharge straight in instead of really trying to be patient and take the time to kite back with all of your forces. Like here, Killerinu's not necessarily kiting back with everything. He is responding when he needs to with those little cav charges. And now the Dryads also come forward, causing fear. Good weapon strength. Decent charge on, well, I say decent, only 12 charge bonus, really not much, but they do at least clean up some of those goblins. Greenskins are still threatening, though. We've got Grom basically perfectly healthy out here. Wolf Rider starting to take the flank and get into a position to threaten the Deepwood Scouts. The Wood Elf melee units are starting to get eaten up in combat, which is what you would expect here, but the Sisters of Twilight over there chasing off the River Troll Hag again. If you'd maybe just been able to detach the Glade Riders, but then obviously the Wolf Riders, Spider Riders might have been able to bail out. So I understand trying to get rid of the Troll Hag there, but they are taking quite the journey to do so. Meanwhile, Grom's coming in here, disrupting the Waystalker, Waz being popped. So all of these green skin boys, lads are ready, as they say, getting all the buffs. Nice timing push. Dryads are still fighting in the front line, though, at least in this center pocket here. Nice terror charge from the Lost Sylvan Knights, who I had completely ignored up until now. That is a huge amount of value that I just straight up didn't talk about. But, yeah, they're going to come in here, and the physical resistance does help them, but even still, they don't just want to sit on top of Orc Biggins. I mean, you know, what is it, 70% physical resistance, something like that for ethereal units? Even still, the fact they have 0 armor, you know, that 38 melee defense is okay, but they still are going to be taking hits from the biggins, and they'll still be doing enough damage that it's not super comfortable. But River Troll Hag gets collapsed here. Really bad for her. She's just going to have the worst day of her life as she takes a huge amount of shock damage. Grom's going to try and come in here. Aspect of Dread Knight on him does give him magic attacks. You can see he actually fells a few models there of the Lost Sylvan Knights on that swing, doing some nice damage. But yeah, that River Troll Hag literally just dies. So both of the regenerating casters have now been shut down for Greenskins. You know, 2 out of the 3 regenerating characters, so that is definitely a good place to be in, but even still, the Greenskins just have a lot of infantry left. There's some healthy biggins here, some healthy biggins in the center. The Waystalker still getting completely bullied here. Spellsinger of Life doesn't have too much long left. She herself, surrounded by biggins, going to try and get bailed out there by some Dryads, but things are looking a little dicey. Balance power slightly in favor of the Greenskins at this point. Wood Scouts have just about used up the last of their ammunition. This unit, in fact, has used all of its ammunition. But the Sylvan Knights providing some terror could be pretty critical as well in the late game. It's just getting rid of these Gobbo and Orc units. Gotta be a little bit careful, danger close firing with the Sisters. They do not actually deal magic damage, but still just high enough missile damage overall that if they were to actually hit the Sylvan Knights, they would deal significant damage to them. Let's see here. The armor sundering, nice against Grom. Puts him down to 70 armor. Just everything can get more hits against him. Not that there's really a lot to even try and hit him at this point. I mean, kind of little pockets of Wood Elf troops holding out while the Lost Sylvan Knights and the Sisters try and carry the rest of the game. And they definitely can do so. Does look like we've got a regrowth here on the Lost Sylvan Knights, refreshing their vigor and, of course, healing them up. So that is going to be quite nice. I think, yeah, just about healed at full. Those 16 unit models that remain, 109, 110 kills and climbing. It's going to be tricky, though. Grom's certainly no pushover, and there's still enough biggins left that it's going to be uncomfortable, certainly. But nice rear charge here, kind of double envelopment. Blade Riders coming in. They're not going to do a lot. Stag Knights will certainly do more. Doesn't look like they get into too much contact there, but the terror is obviously the main thing. Waystalker also does have a splash attack, right? I think he has like maybe 2 targets, so a little something to contribute, certainly. Not a pushover by any means. I think even the Waystalkers, yeah, 55 attack, 45 defense. Made videos about them before. They are staples of competitive Wood Elf play, certainly. I mean, Wood Elves, like most factions, in my opinion, especially in top-level play, you really shouldn't have empty hero slots, especially given that the Waystalkers are so good. You could easily just cut one Deepwood Scout and bring a Waystalker in its place, and, you know, it's going to be better. But anyway, Grom here, Lucky Banner active, helps resist some of that bow fire. The Sisters are super low at this point. They're going to have to be very careful about coming to the ground at any time. But the Lost Sylvan Knights, another regrowth on them. Killerinu here just putting all of the value on those expensive Shock, Ghost, Stag, Cavalry, all of the words. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. We get another charge here. Just doing a great job ping-ponging between these various Orc Boy units. With that attack, though, up to 62, plus the anti-large bonus. I mean, Grom in there on the rear charge as well. Just continuously charging between these different targets is absolutely the right call. Spellsinger also hiding in the woods now. She does not have the extra Winds of Magic ability, you know, of the Wood Elves, that while you're standing in the woods, you get extra Winds of Magic. But even still, just hiding from the Greenskins might need to contribute her own value at this late game stage, but we'll see. Sisters are going to come down with the Waystalker, try and go 2v1 versus Grom. Maybe help the Waystalker get some hits. A nice point-blank shot from the Sisters there. Get some armor sundering on Grom. He's going to eat a charge then from the Glade Riders. Does manage to shatter them. Still took a little bit of damage in the process. Another hit on Grom. He's down to 400, and the double shot takes him down to 270. The Waystalker's just about to break, and he does, in fact, break at the same time Grom does. But look at this. One more regrowth on the Lost Sylvan Knights. Greenskin player going to throw in the towel there. And what a game. Big thanks for sending that one in, Killerinu. Man, that was awesome. Yeah, I mean, the Lost Sylvan Knights, 171 kills, 2,000 damage value. Just having the Spirit Leech and the aspect of Dread Knight, I mean, you can't really get a lot more than that as the Greenskins is the issue. You just don't have many tools with magic damage. Really, you just have to rely on the fact your units deal a lot of damage overall. Try and DPS them down that way. But Killer Inu here had other ideas. Almost 3,000 damage value on the Sisters of Twilight. Super strong. Flying missile lords with long range, anti-large. It's going to be strong if used correctly. Likewise, the Deepwood Scouts all pay for themselves. Very cost effective. Glade Riders had to be sacrificed in certain instances, but still prove fairly successful. Ron the Paunch, on the other hand, 1,600 damage value. Pretty decent. Virtual Hags definitely got countered pretty hard. But the infantry would come in and mop up a lot of that value. Biggins are just insane. They're such a strong infantry unit. 1,400 damage value on 92 kills. 1,100 on 113 kills. 7,500 damage dealt. So pretty impressive stuff. Skirmish Cavalry does decent also in certain aspects. Not as much as I would have thought from chasing routing units, though. And I think that maybe could have been... I mean, it's tricky, certainly, when everything is getting terrified off, but... just thinking about it, I mean, from the Greenskins perspective, in terms of magic damage you have access to, there's not much, right? It's pretty much all spell-based. I don't know, thinking through, do any of your units have innately bound magic damage that I can think of? Besides, I mean, if you go full meme here, like, yeah, not even the Rogue Idol does, so, meaning you pretty much have to rely on your casters then for the magic damage. So in this matchup, then, like from a competitive perspective, the Wood Elves lost Sylvan Knights all of a sudden. I mean, they are going to be a huge danger regardless. So there is certainly one thing. The ability to get rid of them is another. Given that all of your casters are fairly squishy, and really, I mean, the Troll Hag's your best bet. She's the least squishy of all of them. Does this actually deal... I mean, it says Magic Missile. I don't know if it actually does magic damage. Certainly Blast does, which I don't know if that's worth taking, but it does give you at least another one shot to try and pick off a few models there. Obviously dropping, if you were able to get a Purple Sun on top of them, that's going to basically take out the unit, but at the same time, Spirit Leech does kind of pick at them consistently. Night Goblin Shaman, this Vindictive Glare doesn't really pass through models very well. It might kill a couple of models on each cast. But probably not exactly ideal, and you don't really have any other magic from Lore of Littlewah. The best bet in my view, although this is certainly the most snipeable caster, Brain Bursta, Fists of Gork, you've also got Edbutt here for the Big Wa lore. But again, these casters are squishy, whether you take Wurzag or the Orc Shaman, both are going to be quite squishy. So it's an interesting one, you kind of play around sniping the casters here, and then just relying on the Lost Sylvan Knights in many ways. Of course, all the rest of the build kind of goes around that to a degree, although Sisters of Twilight, I mean, I guess they're kind of part of the anti-caster squad to a degree, right? Anyway, I'm rambling now at this point. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. See you next time.